Everybody, thanks for watching. Just a quick reminder, make sure you guys check your emails for updates. Anybody who didn't receive a tracking number, you will receive it this week or this coming week. But keep in mind that your order probably shipped already. I couldn't, as I explained before, I couldn't get into my email. So this is why a lot of people didn't receive tracking numbers yet, but we're going to still get those tracking numbers out, especially to PO boxes. So if you didn't get one, your order probably shipped. But if not, you'll be getting the tracking number soon, since we have access to the emails again. That's a whole other story with Google and the whole email situation I'll get into later. Now, Merkable Academy, send out emails to everybody, send out updates and the videos. Make sure you guys, if you're not a Never Pay Again member, you have this opportunity till Monday to get Never Pay Again membership at $7.99. There's no more excuses after that. There will be no more promos, no more deals, no more sales after Monday. That will be it for good. The site will launch on September 9th, fully and completely. There's probably going to be a lot of people who end up missing the sale and missing out on this. But again, Merkable Academy has been around for years now. So the people who really want membership, I think, will have it by now. Price has been a problem for some people, which is why I made it this low. Also, you guys can go ahead and buy as many memberships as possible, as many as you want. You can sell them later. All a person has to have is the purchaser's email and that ticket, that certificate that came in the email. So make sure you guys, well, really just the email, as long as they got the person who bought an email. Any other person you sell your membership to can just go ahead and get on there with that purchaser's email, because I'll be able to see, how many memberships they bought. So if you buy 5 memberships, then that means 5 people will get memberships. So $7.99 is going to be $2,000 later. You might can make some money. And as I said, that'll be it. It won't be no more sales to make it lower, or any more deals or what have you. That'll be it. So this is a way you could probably make a couple of dollars, at least get your $7.99 back and sell it to somebody. So yeah, making it easier for people with this. Again, if you, a lot of you guys have not updated your accounts, or if you don't have a blue check on Merkable Academy, that means you're still on the subscribers list. So make sure you have a blue check. If not, send me an email so I can update your account and make sure your email matches whatever system you paid with. And we'll do testing basically for a few days with that, but all the Never Pay Again members, it's going to be a lot to the site. So we got to test it and make sure it's cool. And, I expect thousands of people to be on it. So we'll make sure there's no crash issues or what have you. The reason why we have to delete all accounts that's not Never Pay Again is because it's just spam. It's a lot of spam accounts. You get a lot of malware and stuff like that. Computers create accounts. And anytime you have something like that, you're going to have people try to make money off of it by soliciting on, accounts like this and on, pages like this and any website that has members. So we have to delete all the people who are not paid members, because obviously, by this time, Merkable Academy has been up for years. So, most of these people are not serious about being conscious or serious about this information. So we want to make sure those people who are serious, we don't delete your account. And I mean, it's a good deal. It's crazy for $7.99, but I wanted to make it so it's no excuse. If you, don't want to do $7.99, then you probably don't want to be on here. But, not everybody can afford $7.99. I won't act like, everybody has it. I know it's a little bit of money, but some people just don't have it. But you guys will have a chance to re-register, on the 19th, about 10 days after the site launch. So if you can't afford the $7.99 for whatever reason, or you don't want to pay it, you can go ahead and register on the 19th. But keep in mind, not everybody will be allowed back to Merkable Academy. Not every account will be approved. So this is your chance. I will advise you to take advantage of it, especially since it's going to come with all the digital downloads for $7.99. So people be complaining about prices and complaining about money and this and that. And then, we come along, and I've offered, $9.99 before. I've offered low prices before, and people don't take advantage because they take shit for granted. And this is what happens with people. Procrastination, taking shit for granted, not seeing real value in something. And that's what's going to happen. This site is going to be well worth the $2,000 that's going to cost once it launches, and you'll see why. It's going to be $2,000. There'll be payments you can pay if you want to do a payment plan, but I suggest you get it for $7.99. But you'll see why it'll cost that much. I'm betting on myself, and I see a lot of people is going to want in on this site once it launches. It's going to be nothing like it. so far you can just see, the changes just with the games, and that's going to, go to a whole other level soon, and a lot more. So also teachers, again, as I said in the last video and in the email, if you want to teach, if you got something, skill, knowledge, whatever you want to teach, make sure you send me an email, and we'll get back to you and how that works. Teachers will have a different login. You have a whole totally different page from students. And as I said, you'll be able to interact with students. You'll have like a different platform to teach or even to sell stuff or what have you. And as I said, and that'll be an opportunity for you to make money on Merkable Academy by doing this. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be benefits to teaching and more benefits down the line, which I'll get into eventually. But it's something you want to do if you can teach. If it's something that you can do, and it could be just as simple as you coming up with course material. Just coming up with tests, coming up with videos, or just how to basically some of the stuff that's on YouTube, but it's gonna be a lot different. Something that I talked about before. But we'll get into all that once site launches. It'll be down pretty soon, Tuesday. Site is shut down. The app you'll probably be able to get in on the app, some people, but that will shut down too because it'll be a completely different app eventually. And we'll get into the app when that time comes, but it will definitely be out for both, smartphones, iPhone, and as well as Android. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, there'll be many more quizzes and tests and courses and classes. So many new things coming. A lot of stuff coming. As I said, I have teachers already ready to put out information. You guys will get an introduction to these people, all teachers, once that time comes. But it's a lot. I'm already excited about what's to come with the site, and just put a lot of work into it, and a lot of time and effort into it. So, I'm happy to get to this point. It's been years and it's been a struggle. So again, I appreciate everybody who's been supporting since day one. And this is really going to be a great site. Also, as I said, everybody who was there in the beginning, all y'all guys who never paid a membership in the beginning, you will see your levels will be different. You'll have different levels. Your page will look different. It will show, diamond and gold membership or what have you. And that will be different for, the early members, and you'll see what perks and, how that works out with being at that level. People will have a chance to get to that level. It'll take a while. So you guys will, be at the top for a bit until people catch up with you guys. But again, you got the leaderboard. You're going to have a lot of course material. It's going to be a lot of tests. It's going to be real awards that I'm going to send out to people who pass certain courses. That's not going to be easy, and it's going to be a lot in detail. So it's a lot we got to get into. So once we get close to launch, probably on the 7th or 8th, I'll probably put out a video to just go through some of the things. So once you guys log into Merkable Academy, you won't be completely lost. Again, login points. You won't get points for a lot of stuff. Leaderboard, as I said. And it's just going to be so much that's going to come with that. It's going to be fun, cool stuff. It's going to be exciting and something different that I think is going to benefit everybody that's involved. And you can just name it how many benefits you think we can generate from having a point system and prizes and contests and competitions and so much stuff like that. So yeah, that's a lot. And again, I appreciate everybody's patience and support on everything. So yeah, make sure you guys take advantage. $7.99. It will be done after Monday, and that's it. Said it a million times. I'm done with it. Sale is over. People always laugh at me about that. Oh, you always say the sale is over, then it comes back. And that's because people always send me emails, want me to bring the sale back, but this is it. There will be no more sales, no more email deals, nothing. This is it. It's done. $7.99. It's the lowest we can do it. It's not even fair, but it's me trying to make it affordable for everybody. Take advantage of it. Do yourself a favor. Take advantage of it and just get it out the way. And you have until Monday to do so. So yeah, let's get into this video. And again, been talking about reparations, and I got a few emails from people asking me, oh, why are you so much into reparations, and why do you keep talking about it and this and that? Because it's huge. It's a big deal, and it's something that they've been working on for a long time. This has been years. This is not new. This is not 2023. This has been in the making for years, and it's been committees and so many people trying to get this done. And if you're paying attention to the news, as I said, to do so, you see how many countries is now jumping in on it. I mean, you have in Japan, you have in countries, Germany, and over in Europe, countries who jumping in trying to get reparations for being, bombed during the Holocaust or bombed during World War II or what have you. It's a lot of countries that's trying to get in on it. And when you see stuff like this, it's pushing us somewhere. It's pushing towards something. So, I mean, economically, you can't have the major superpowers or all these different countries paying money to citizens for, past traumas or what have you, and it being done so in a way that's going to hurt the economy. Now, we won't have that problem in America. They can't use that excuse here, as I talked about, because one, if it happens here, it will definitely benefit the economy. It will definitely benefit us as a whole, this entire country, to give out this money to Black people, knowing it's going to go right back into the economy and it's going to stimulate the economy and business is going to boom. Now, me personally, I see something being done before a presidential election. If we get to this point, as far as talks on this, it would be smart to me to pass something before the summertime, because that's when the most money is going to get spent. Who knows? But I think, well, I know for sure the economy will be stimulated largely because of it. Now, I talked about some of the things they was getting into as far as some of the hindrances that's been in place that's been, a problem for Black folks. And I talked about that in the last couple of videos. But it's a lot of things we can point to see why this reparation should be given governmental, from the government, because so many people have been in power and government that has aided in our suppression, and it's proven. So again, now what they're doing is they're going back into the amendments. So if you remember 14th Amendment, real quick, passed by the Senate on June 8th, 1866, and ratified 2 years later on July 9th, 1868, the 14th Amendment granted citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, including formerly enslaved people, and provided all citizens with equal protection under the law, extending the provisions of the Bill of Rights to the states. Now, we know we didn't get equal protection under the law, and that's one of the things that was argued with civil rights, which they talk about here. So it says, the amendment authorized the government to punish states that abridge citizens' rights to vote by proportionally reducing their representation in Congress, which has been done to us. It banned those who engaged in insurrection against the United States from holding any civil, military, or elected office without the approval of 2/3 of the House and Senate. The amendment prohibited former Confederate states from repaying war debts and compensating former slave owners for the emancipation of their enslaved people. Finally, it granted Congress the power to enforce this amendment and provision that led to the passage of other landmark legislations in the 20th century, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Congress required former Confederate states to ratify the 14th Amendment as a condition of regaining federal representation. Now, why is this important? This is important because it's one of the documents that we can show, that we can point to and say, this was not given to Black people. This was not provided to Black people, that we had to go and actually fight for this. And even if you wanted for a time to say, during this time, we can prove that reparations should be paid to Black people because the government held back its word to do what they were supposed to do, as far as when Lincoln basically signed all this stuff into law. Because one, we did not get equal protection under the law. The law was beating us down. The law was killing us. We had to fight for voting rights. We had to march and fight for this stuff. We didn't get representation. Equal representation is something we still are not getting. And it's something they wanted to point to, because you can look in Congress right now, you can look in the Senate right now. There is not equal representation. The reason why this is put in there is for what's happening today cannot happen. And this is where corporations can come in, and we have lobbyists. And this is how they're trying to get around the whole thing. You got corporations, you got lobbyists who can come in and lobby for certain things to get passed for the people. Representation for Black folks has been greatly reduced in Congress, and They make sure, I mean, you can run all day long. They're making sure that we're not heard, or even if we are heard, which is one of the reasons why they let us march and everything like that, nothing's getting done. Nothing's getting done. We can point to so many government laws and things that have been passed to hinder Black people's progression. It's one of the things that they're citing in this whole reparations thing. But then, they're going back to Lincoln, and that's the major thing, as I was talking about in the last video, with the whole Freedmen's Bank and everything. It's one of the things you got to go back and look at. You got to go back to the foundation document, the beginning of this thing with Lincoln, and what was originally promised and put out there. And, we wasn't given it. So if you go back, 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, this is what abolished slavery. And it says in 1863, President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation declaring all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be thenceforward and forever free. Nonetheless, the Emancipation Proclamation did not end slavery in the nation, since it only applied to areas of the Confederacy currently in a state of rebellion. And it says here, and not even to the loyal border states that remain in the Union. Lincoln recognized that the Emancipation Proclamation would have to be followed by a constitutional amendment in order to guarantee the abolishment of slavery. So then we have the 13th Amendment was passed at the end of the Civil War, before the Southern states had been restored to the Union, and should have easily passed in Congress. However, though the Senate passed it April 1864, the House initially did not. At that point, Lincoln took an active role to ensure passage through Congress. He insisted that passage of the 13th Amendment be added to the Republican Party platform for the upcoming 1864 presidential election. His efforts met with success when the House passed the bill in January 1865 with a vote of 119 to 56. So now it says here, on February 1st, 1865, President Abraham Lincoln approved the joint resolution of Congress submitting the proposed amendment to the state legislature. The necessary number of states, 3/4, ratified it. By December 6, 1865, the 13th Amendment of the United States Congress provides that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment of crimes whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. And I talked about this. With the adoption of the 13th Amendment, the United States found a final constitutional solution to the issue of slavery. The 13th Amendment, along with the 14th and 15th, is one of the trio of Civil War amendments that greatly expanded the civil rights of Americans. Again, this is important. And as I said, this is one of the reasons why I'm liking so far what I'm hearing from a lot of people who's arguing these points. Again, you have the 14th Amendment, you have the 13th Amendment, but we got to look at the 13th Amendment. And again, what happened? It's talking about slavery or involuntary servitude, except as a punishment of crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. I think we all understand. So what happened? They came up with an entire system to basically make us slaves again. And then people are not seeing it because, one, person commits a crime. But you got to remember, one, a lot of this is documented now, and it's one of the things that's being pointed out of the thousands of Black people that were just rounded up, and thrown in prison. Now, one of my favorite movies of all time is Shawshank Redemption. And a lot of people got to understand, the message they're trying to give you in that movie. And it's the movie, remember, you had prison labor, and he was going out, he was basically underbidding contracts because he was using free prison labor and he was making money. And you had Andy Dufresne who was helping them basically launder that money. That's basically what happened with Black people after slavery and what they was doing, chain gangs, locking Black people up and having us work for free. See, it's different now where we can have a paper trail. Courts is different. But back then, you got to look at, they was just driving around and rounding people up. See you on the street and you was homeless, they would just throw you in chains and throw some bogus charges on you. Or if you got so hungry and you stole something to eat, they would give you a life sentence or 20-year sentence for stealing a piece of candy. And this is what was happening. And this is documented now, and it's one of the things that has been coming out in this whole argument about how they basically put in the 13th Amendment that you can be enslaved once again if you've been convicted of a crime. When we look at the prisons and we see, 70, 80% African American, that should tell you something. When we see Black men being taken out of the household, and it's causing a spiral effect in, the Black community, where you have all these single Black moms raising these Black boys, and, the strong Black man or the father figure is taken out of the house, and these men don't know how to, be men because their daddy was never, raised as a man or taught to be a man, and, probably spent most of his life in prison. The effects is documented. The effects is something that we all know and can be proven. And it's one of the things that they've been pointing to recently to say, you guys had a whole system in place, not only to deny us what we were supposed to get after slavery, but to keep us enslaved. And then when you go really step back, because I talk about this a lot, and you look at the entire system, the scope of it, even if you're not in prison, basically, this is still a slavery system. So where, hey, we're working, yeah, we got jobs and we can pay our bills and rent and what have you. And what are we working for? We're working for white corporations. Some of them have been around since slavery. Some of them wouldn't exist today without slavery. And we still working for these companies, these corporations, and making these people crazy money. Yeah, we get money, but we're not getting nowhere near what we should get, or getting close to being able to compete with these companies, corporations. And then when we try to actually take our skills and stuff that we learn to go and get a bank loan to open a business, we're denied systematically. This is done on purpose. Denied. You want to open a business and you're Black? No. And this has been documented, and it's been done for a long time. So, one of the things is people calling out for, entrepreneurs and for businesses to be open. And we all understand this, and we just look around and we say, well, it's not that many Black businesses. What happened? And that's what happened. Banks denied us. First, they put us in a position to where, we lost our unity. So before, as I talked about, you had a lot of wealthy Black leaders and Black people who was financing businesses and financing a lot of these people to open businesses and to do anything, whether it was a protest, a march, or what have you. This was rich Black folks who was financing this. Once they got them out the picture, there was nobody left to finance us. There's nobody left to go to finance a Black endeavor or a Black business. So as I said, with the unity that we had before, desegregation, civil rights, what have you, we had that unity to where we can go to these Black people because banks we couldn't go to. You got to think, who did you go to back then, being Black, to open up these businesses? Because we had a lot of Black businesses, and that's what it was. We had, rich Black people who would loan out money for these things, and that stopped once you had integration and everything, and people trying to fit in with this white system and working for white people, and that's what happened. It basically crushed that economic, stronghold we had as far as having wealthy Blacks, help us out. And what do we see today? The wealthy Blacks that got the money now, they ain't doing too much. And most of them are athletes, entertainers, and, the rappers are basically teasing you with what they got. They're not really loaning out money to, a lot of people to do something on that level. So it's a systematic thing. Systemic racism is real. And it's a systematic thing that has been done that we can point to and say, it's part of the reason why we deserve this money, these funds. And it's being argued really well from what I've been reading. So you can use your imagination and just think. You don't even got to. You just understand the trickle effect that racism has played on the advancement of Black people from, since slavery, and just so many different things we can look at. Jim Crow in itself. Just think about that. I remember, talking with my son and talking with my little cousins and them, not even believing that it was true. What? Blacks only, whites only. And it's crazy. It's just something that you can't even fathom today that such a thing would exist. So yeah, some of the things I wanted to point out in this video. Make sure you guys go ahead and grab this membership, get it out the way. $7.99. You can't beat that. Easy to take care of. The link didn't work yesterday. It works now. So if you tried yesterday, try it again. It will work. Make sure you guys take advantage of this. Again, I'll try to get out a video before the sale ends. But I'll put out enough to let everybody know who has registered. Just take care of it, get it out the way, and it's definitely gonna be worth it. But yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch. See you next video. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. We got a lot coming up with Merkable Academy and a lot to get into in this video, so let's get into it. I know a lot of you guys have been enjoying the games, but there's a lot more games to come once the site is complete. We are nearing the completion of Merkable Academy, and the site will be done September the 9th. We will upload the full completed site. This is your chance to get a Never Pay Again membership at an unbelievable price, $7.99, and we'll get into that in a second. There's a lot of accounts on Merkable Academy, so we're giving everybody a chance to upgrade to Never Pay Again membership. If you are not a Never Pay Again member by Monday, your account will be deleted. But no worries, if you can't afford the $7.99, you'll have a chance to re-register 10 days after the site launches. Also, the new Merkable Academy app will soon be available. You will get notifications and alerts. You will also be able to upload your favorite music and edit your course experience. Now, as I said before, we'll have teachers on Merkable Academy. A few of you I'm already speaking to now. But if you would like to become a teacher on Merkable Academy, make sure you send me an email. If you have anything to teach, if you have the skill, send me an email to Merkable Academy. If you want to teach on Merkable Academy, you'll have a chance to earn some money. You'll be able to interact with your students, as well as send out course materials, mass messaging, and a lot more. Merkable Academy will be global, so even if you're overseas and you want to teach or you want to join the site, you'll be able to do so. So now, as I said, Merkable Academy, this is your final chance to get Never Pay Again membership for $7.99, an unheard of, unbelievable price. This is your chance to get it. This sale will end on Monday, will be your final chance. We have to do this because we have to flush the site of members, and we don't want to get rid of anybody who's a Never Pay Again member. So it's a lot of dummy pages, it's a lot of dummy subscribers. We have to get rid of those people, and we have to make sure that everybody who is on the site is engaged in the site. I know it's a lot to take in, but the site is almost complete, and we appreciate your patience and support. Thanks for watching.